Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. We're on the low-cost beer advent calendar today. It's day 7 and I've got to admit there's been some absolute belting beers. I had a bit of a gusher yesterday. Yes, all over the floors. Floors are sticky as they come. So if you're one of the people that watch the review and you got pre-warned that one of them might be a gusher, at least you was pre-warned. Hey, you know, these things happen with beers. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I lost. Yeah, all over the floor, sticky as hell. So, number 7 then. Let's see what it is. And because I obviously have no clue where they're from or who they're from. Good evening. So, good evening. And I'll tell you what, these guys know how to wrap a beer up. Bloody hell. It's some military grade fucking cling film stuff. It's like a Christmas present. The only problem is you can see the bottle, well, most of it. I bet whoever wrapped these bottles up sat at home thinking, yeah, you fuckers. Because I would be. It is. Oh, fucking hell. You'd be cursing, wouldn't you? You'd be thinking, hey, you bastard. Pardon my French for those who don't swear. So, from ROTHHAMMER, it's their real golden ale. I've not seen the Own Bargain stuff, you know. I didn't go this weekend to Own Bargains, and my daughter hasn't been either to tell me. I'll have to pop over sometime this week. So yeah, real golden ale. It says Soul Crafted Chilean Beer. So it's a Chilean beer. Let me have a look for the percentage because I can't see the percentage. I'm not joking, but if you can read the writing, oh my leg, on there, see that writing just after the yellow? Bloody hell, that is small. Right, in Dinkum form, it's actually a 5.5%, a real golden ale. Again, never heard of that brand at all. So a bit of Chilean, eh? Right, I need to find my bottle opener. There's a lot of that, yeah, it's not a bad strength. There's a lot of it these days where it's all fake breweries, isn't it? You know, like ḣaverwoods. Yeah, what's there? Oof. Well, at least it's not a gusher. Yesterday, that Colonel Brewery one pissed all over everywhere. It's a bit of a random beer, isn't it? So it's like a good, you know, lots of carbonation and lacing. Amberish pour, white head. No, I've got to say that as well. Own Bargains has been disappointing. The only good beer they had, yes, it is 330ml. The only good beer Home Bargains have had recently was Wanger, the ginger beer. That was absolutely exceptional. The best ginger beer I've tasted, bar Krabby's Black. For fire in the ginger, it was absolutely superlative, you know. And I can't get one now because the buggers have sold out. I got the father-in-law one, and he even told me he likes his fire and his ginger, and he never got back to me. So yeah, the Wazik. Stone's Ginger Joe, yeah, it's okay. It's not the greatest, but yeah, Krabby's Black was amazing. I keep badgering Crabbies and saying to them, will you rebrew it? Because that, in a 750ml bottle for Christmas, is a seller for everybody who likes ginger beers. I don't understand sometimes why breweries get rid of decent beers. I mean, yeah, get rid of the shite, let's be honest. If it's crap, get rid of it. Or it's a really, really bad seller. It was 6%, yeah. An oak matured. Home Bargains, it hasn't been good for a while, actually. And to be fair, B&M's not the store it was. At one stage, you'd walk into B&M and you'd pick up something every time you go in, 2 or 3 beers. Now, they've got a good selection of beers, to be fair, but it's pretty much standard stuff. Oh, yeah, I've been working today. I'm on a 4-day week now. So I'm doing Monday to Thursday and taking Friday off. I am as well. Bloody Gangly Ghoul. I mean, let's be fair, Dunkelfester's an amazing beer, but Gangly Ghoul was a very, very good replacement. And yeah, no Gangly Ghoul. It's been a disappointing year for beers from the big breweries as well. You know, I'd love to. I mean, I'm hoping there's a beer shop. There's a shop up the road opening for me, and it's called DK Market. And it's got on the window, it says craft beers. It's not ready, not open yet. And I can see the racking going, and it looks like it's going to be a beer shop. So, oh, that'd be great. I've got 2 weeks to go at work. I've got 4 days this week, 4 days next week, and then I break up then, and I'm not back until the 4th of Jan. So, lots of beer reviews. If I can get away with it anyway. I'll just come down the shed and say to the wife, well, I'm sorting the shed out. And I've got to sort it out anyway, because I've got game consoles, TVs on the floor. It needs a sorting. So yeah, not much of a nose on this fella, to be honest. More of a light malt nose. I can't pick anything out. No, I'm not getting much at the moment. I'm just getting light malt at the moment. I remember Green King, aka Moorland, when they had Old Nutty Hen, Old Spooky Hen, Old Mould Hen, Hen's Tooth. And that's just 4 beers that I can remember. There's obviously going to be others. And I mean, you go on their website. My daughter's actually bought me. You can buy your own, vintage hen, thank God. Vintage hen. Crafty hen's still about. I ain't seen vintage hen. Ooh, I'll have to check that. Yeah, I went on their website the other day. Yeah, I've not heard of vintage hen. Not that comes to memory anyway. Hen's Tooth was about 7.3%, a bottle condition beer. That was a stunning beer, that was. Morrison's for years at that, and it's gone. But yeah, Green King, I got one of their build your own 12 box. And there was the XX Mild, Rocky Rudolph, I've got 2 bottles of that. And there's a load of Bellhaven stuff that I've not had before. Right, I haven't heard this vintage hen. Ooh. I mean, Old Crafty Hens. Oh, that's a box ticking beer, that is. Vintage hen. Old Peculiar's a lovely beer. Mm. So, yeah. Very much a standard golden ale, this is. You know, it's quaffable. Probably the weakest of the beers so far in the low cost beers set. Good evening. It says ROTHHAMMER on the bottle. and it's a Chilean. Apparently it's a Chilean beer. I've never heard of ROTHHAMMER. Real golden ale. I mean, it is. It's very. I would say it's very standard golden ale for me. Like I say, the weakest of the ones so far. There's been some absolute pearlers in this box. But obviously, there's always going to be a day when something's not your cup of tea. Not a massive golden ale fan, by rights. Although there's always the odd one that, I mean, we've all got our own favourite styles, haven't we? I mean, for me, stouts and porters all the way. But one of my favourite beers from Nottingham is a pale ale, funnily enough. And Harvest Pale Ale, and it's beautiful. Yeah, that's the only problem with golden ales, I find. It's got a nice bite to it. Black Witch, it's not available at the moment. I've not seen Black Witch for a while. You look at the the Richwood range, a lot of them are missing. No, it's gone a bit flat, hasn't it? I mean, it's a nice bitey beer, even though I've never heard of the brand. But that's what, I mean, in some ways, that's what's good about low cost. Las Iguanas restaurants. Ah, that's probably why then they've got this, because obviously low cost deal with a lot of people who are trying to get rid of stock, be it short date, out of date, bankrupt stock. And they would obviously had a load of this in, from restaurants probably going bust or something. I mean, for low cost, it's an amazing. You've got to praise their business model. You buy the beer in at a price that's obviously cheap. You sell it on, and none of it's going to waste. Jobs are good. I mean, I remember when Titanic Brewery were on TV the other month, pouring cask beer down the drain, and you think, why the bloody hell wouldn't you just sell it cheap? Pound a pint. Maybe. I mean, I've got stuff in here in bottles that I ain't got a clue what the date is. Homebrew. But you take a swig, and if it tastes all right, that's fine. If you don't, chuck it. Lowcostbeer is a website. This is their advent calendar at the bottom. And they're also trading under the name Smiling Grape. And they do loads of short date, out of date, and bankrupt stock beers. So like this advent calendar, 45 quid. That is a very good price for a 24 bottle advent calendar. And it's delivered as well, free delivery. Over 35 quid, I think it is. But the new draft beers in a bottle. If you've never been to their site, type in go on Google, go lowcostbeer.com, and very good site. I can't praise them enough. I only found them in, I think it was about March this year, just as the lockdown was happening. And I went on the site because I wanted to try some new beers. And I didn't know about this site. And I looked and I thought, fucking hell, there's loads of beers here I've never tried before. And the prices were the right price. And at 25 beers, and I think it worked out to something like 38 quid, which is a good price for beers. When they came, 23 separate beers. 2 of them were actually replicated because of the sheer demand of people hitting their website. And since then, I've had about 5 orders off them. Draft beers. They do, if you're interested, they do a discovery pack. And I think that's the best one to get because it's 15 quid for the discovery pack. So it's 10 little bottles. These size little bottles. 10 little bottles. And I think that works out better than doing it the litre way. But I'm sure the bloke who owns low cost is thinking, fucking hell, he took the price. But yeah, 10 for 15 quid. It is. He puts a squirt of, I don't know, CO2 or some other shite in, and it's solid. So, like when you brew your own beer, the homebrew, the bottles are absolutely solid. Obviously this isn't, it's empty. But yeah, and it comes and it's, you know, it's, they obviously get it in either, I don't know, kegs or polypins or whatever they get it in. They add a bit of the CO2 in to make it, you know, so it's good. Yeah, the duty issue is a problem, isn't it? I wonder if that's why Sadler's dropped their Christmas pudding stout down to 4.5%. You know, I cannot understand any brewery ruining a good, yeah. I can't understand any brewery ruining a flipping good beer by dropping the ABV. Yeah, to me, it's a strange move. I mean, Sadler's Christmas Pudding Stout sells incredibly fast at B&M for the last 2 or 3 years they've had it. And this year, to drop the ABV, they must have had some shit over that. Hopefully they'll up it again next year. Because at 6%, it's a box ticking beer. I mean, I bought 4 beers and I thought, then I seen a 4.5 and I'm thinking, what? Price was the same, mind you. Well, let's be fair, we're all going to pay for this, aren't we? Hopefully it wasn't a mistake in the brewing process, but you never know, do you? You know, you don't know what goes off in the background in any company, you know. And they're obviously never going to tell you. It's like governments around the world. They're never going to be honest with you and say COVID was a fuck up by the Chinese in their laboratories. Or maybe Donald Trump would. Vocation makes some nice stuff. I still haven't found that Imperial Kirsch Stout. I need to find it. Try and review it. I've seen some other reviewers on YouTube have done reviews of it. So, and at 11%, I think it's 11% in it, a £5 at Tesco's. I need to get it. I need to tick it off the list. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? I mean, let's be fair. None of us like to pay more for our beers. It makes you wonder why Old Tom still is on the 4 for £6 deal. Yeah, and that's the good thing about all of us, isn't it? We're all very different in what we like. I mean, I love Imperial Rum and Raisin Stouts. I've not had one yet. Not this year, anyway. Well, I've brewed my own cherry, beer. Brew Firm, they do an awesome cherry homebrew kit. 24 quid. And I always ramp a bit more sugar in as well because the cherry taste is amazing. But you have to be careful because one day in the kitchen, got a phone call at home. I was at work, wife was at home. I put the secondary fermenter into the barrel, added a bit more sugar as you do, trying to ramp up the ABV. And she's there and says, "That barrel in the kitchen, it's hissing." I says, "You what?" She says, "Yeah, it's hissing. And it looks bigger than the other barrel." And I said, "Fucking hell." Unscrew the lid of the barrel, let some of the air out. I think a lot of people will, like me with my garden. Obviously, I'm a gardener, but I've got the beer room, I've got decking areas, I've got my own areas to hold a party. Not that I'd hold a party, but to have people around and that. And I think a lot more people will be doing, the odd future. I think a lot more people will be entertaining more at home, in the long run. But you still buy your beer from the pubs, don't you? You can buy it on draft. I think this is a wake-up call for breweries to modernise what they're doing. And I've seen a lot of breweries that are. I've got a bar in the garden. Yeah. It's sat on the decking. Never used it because we went to have no parties. And I've got a bar here in the shed. So in the beer room rather. So yeah, this is what this is sat on just there. It's actually my bar. I think when this vaccine's in the general population, I don't think that COVID will be an issue anyway, you know, because if you get COVID, you go to hospital, they'll probably give you a vaccine anyway, or there'll be some sort of vaccine they can give you in hospital to help you. And I think it will be a thing where COVID is just part of normal life. But those who've got the vaccine, there'll be those who are immune anyway, you know, because we could all be immune. You wouldn't know. I could have had it and be totally immune to it. With the amount of beer in my blood and wine and spirits, you know, fucking hell. I don't know how COVID's got a chance. But yeah, I've gone off on a tangent there, haven't I? But, I mean, if you put the vaccine into the people that need it, the people in hospital that are suffering, the elderly, you know, and the critical, then the rest of us, it should be the thing where it'll all be in the population. We'll all have COVID in some fashion, but it'll just disappear. Yeah, maybe not. I know. I need to calm down, really. I looked at the reviews I've done just recently, and I've done like 3 reviews a night, and I think, fucking hell. I think all tax will go up. But I want them to tax the likes of Facebook, eBay, Google, Amazon, because those bastards are getting away with robbing the British taxpayer. And they're also putting Amazon and eBay, a lot of companies out of business. If you tax them more to bring them into line with the shops, then it'll be an even playing field. No, I don't think they're trying to do you harm. I think there's a lot, you know, you've got to be careful these days. A lot of shit stirring. The media, fucking hell. The shit stirring the media have done this year. I don't order any from Amazon. Their beers aren't that cheap on Amazon, to be fair. You're better off buying from the breweries than going to Amazon. And some of these, you know, some of these beer companies where they do like boxes, is it Beer 52 and places like that? They're not that cheap in the long run. Yeah, I reckon everybody earning more than 23 grand should be taxed more. I want to see the rich bastards taxed. Footballers that are on like 300 grand a week, fucking tax them more. You know, they've got that much money, it's silly money. Tax them more, because no one needs 300 grand a week. I'd love it, mind you. Yorkshire pudding beer. Oh dear. I had a garlic beer the other year. £4.25 for the bottle. It was from a farm shop. Couldn't tell you the brand. But yeah, garlic beer. I think I did a review on the decking with the 5 running. 24 for 35 is not a bad price, to be fair. That's why I'm put off with a lot of these beer shops, because you walk in and you see beers at £8-9 upwards and you think, okay, now that's not my price. I'll stick to the supermarket stuff, on the whole at least. For the garlic, I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a farm in Bleasby in Nottinghamshire. I couldn't tell you the actual brand. Yeah, it's definitely slipped the old raggy radar, as it were. I've gone over the 20 minutes, so I bobbed it tonight. This isn't going to show up till later, but hey, we're talking, so fuck it, hey. My son's got his, what's he got on? Oh yeah, Star Wars. But yeah, it's a nice, I mean, to be fair, it's more of a bland offering than all the beers I've done so far in this calendar. But it's been a nice, quaffable golden ale. I think talking and, you know, having a bit of banter helps. And let's be fair, when you're in a pub, a lot of the time you're not taking notice of what you're drinking. You're just chatting away. Oof. I wouldn't pay for it. I really wouldn't. I couldn't justify it. I only paid for the £40, you know, world's strongest beer, because I said I were going to do it when I hit 1,000 subscribers, but that was it. I wouldn't do it again. Plus, that nearly killed me. Fucking hell. I looked at the review, and my face on that redder and redder and redder, and my body for days after that. Every time I touched the beer, one sip, and I was pissed. And yeah, you know, don't want to do my body too much harm. You know, I think I do it enough as it is. Leffe do some nice stuff. The Leffe that was, I can't remember the name of it, but the Leffe that was like a fruity beer was gorgeous. And the funny thing is, first time I had Leffe, I had is it the brewed? And it tasted like fag ash. And I won't touch it. I'm not touching that rubbish. The next time I touch it, it's funny how your taste buds change over the years with drinking. Beers that were disgusting are better. Beers that were your favourites are now like, fucking hell, shit, boring. Strength in numbers. See, a wheat beers, you know. Yeah, wheat beers. I'd never touched them at one stage. Every time I touched the wheat beer, it was disgusting. No, somebody on the channel pointed out that there's a new ginger beer brewed to bottle by Morgan's, 14, 15 quid ginger beer. So I'm interested in getting that. You know, Bulldog Brews, they bought a load of kits out all at once. And since then, their range has gone stagnant. They've done nothing since, which is a shame, really. Leffe oil. Ooh. 9%. That's my sort of cup of tea, that is. I do like the stronger stuff, if I'm being honest. Bloody hell. I've come to the end of the beer. Then again, it was only a 330ml bottle. 18 minutes to drink. No, 27 minutes to drink 330ml. Hey, there's a drop in the bottle. Waste not, want not. Oh. Yeah. There's times, you know, when I've done reviews and you know, you pour it out and it goes up to the top, and you forget there's some in the bottle. I've had some where it's like that much left in the bottle the next couple of days later. I've still necked it though, you know, yeah. Doing my bit to preserve, you know, the environment. 12.4. Oh, that's a nice strength. Thing is with the more expensive ones, you want to take your time and enjoy the experience. I've looked at people doing reviews on the internet and where they've done something like a 14%, and they've drank it in 3 minutes, and you think, shit, surely you can't enjoy a beer that quickly. So I better end the review anyway because it's like 28 minutes long. So yeah, never heard of the brewery or the brewing company. 550 is not bad, yeah. So ROTHHAMMER Chilean, Soul Crafted Chilean Beer, real golden ale. Obviously I don't know anything about it, you know, but that's being from Nottingham, you don't hear a lot about other things. Deadly reading stuff at the same time. So out of 5 then, you know, golden ales are very much quite bland in the offering, and I still think it's the weakest of the beers so far in this rather excellent advent calendar. But with chatting away, with banter and that, it can make a lot of beers probably better than what they are. And it's more of an experience, like all drinking beers, an experience. Drinking beers on your own, you know, just necking. I mean, I can just get a bottle off the floor and neck it. And there's no interest in that because it just goes down your neck and you've not enjoyed it. But yeah, it was okay. Not much on the aroma and taste, not for me anyway. Probably my palate's not that good. But the social aspect is, you know, it's not just about necking the alcohol, because if everything's about necking the alcohol, then you're going into alcoholic stage where you just were drinking to get pissed. And no, all beers, really, let's be fair, it's about the experience, about taking your time and drinking it. I mean, I'm guilty myself of getting the old orange juice wine at night and just walloping it down just to help me get to sleep. And but actually taking your time and enjoying the beer and trying to pick out them flavours if you can. Not always. People who say they can pick out every flavour are talking bollocks, because I've looked on Beer Advocate, there's other review sites, and you look at some of the stuff people are getting out of the beers and you think, fuck off, are you getting that out of the beers? You're not. You're talking out your backside, because you're there yourself trying the beer and you're trying to get every last little flavour that they're saying, and you're not getting it. And half the time I think it's rubbish, being honest. But yeah, it was a nice quaffable golden ale. And for me, round about a 4.0 out of 5. Yeah, definitely the weakest of the selection so far. But then, there's always got to be a weaker one somewhere in the mix. And new one for me. But still a decent beer, mind you. They're not slagging the beer off. But, it was nice pub beer, I reckon. Good traditional beer that you're going to drink in the pub. Sup it slowly and enjoy. Right, I better go back up the house. 31 minutes. Okay, now get a bollocking off the wife. If she's not asleep. If she's asleep, I'll come down the shed, do another review. No. The carbonation. No, I'm not doing another review tonight. I'm trying to stick to 2 reviews. I think I've been doing it a bit, overdoing it. And yeah, it dilutes the reviews, doesn't it? Too many in one night. But it's great to chat though. The banter's great. And then, me getting fed information that I didn't know, that's really good. I totally enjoy that. Yeah. Because obviously none of us know everything, do we? There's some gaps. Look there where the Brewdog is. Gaps there. There are a few gaps. I need to stop buying beer. That's the problem. And I know I've got some coming for Christmas. Yeah, I've got beer from like 3 different quarters for Christmas. I miss that. I noticed that Simon from Real Ale Craft Beer, he's really getting pushed by the breweries, isn't he? But I suppose he has been doing it like 10 years. I wish I'd have done beer reviews 10 years ago. And sometimes you don't believe what people get. I mean, I've listened to wine reviewers and they're saying their oakiness and all this and that, and you think, fuck off, are you getting all that? Unless your palate can pick out. I mean, there obviously are. There's always going to be someone who can pick out flavours that the rest of us can't. But then there's people who beforehand read up on things and then bullshit their way through. And I don't bullshit my way through. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Oh, does it? I try to be positive with beers. But obviously, if it's a bad beer, it's a bad beer. You can't be positive about something that's not nice. I've never actually watched one of his reviews. I've only seen him on the TV one night. It was on Central TV, and he came up, and this bloke reviewing beer. This was like 2.5 years ago, and I thought, he's doing YouTube reviews about beers. I can talk shit about beers all day long, and I actually do enjoy doing it. It's dead strange talking to a camera for the first time. You're like there, and some of my really, really early reviews, I was really, really shit. I mean, I'm shit now, but I've done a few reviews since then. But yeah, some of the early reviews, I think I was a bit more brutal in the early reviews. Yeah, I think I'm very different to other people. Yeah, I'm not per se as some are. Oh God, yeah, there's got to be some live chats near Christmas. What's killing me is these 2 reviews a day doing these, because the time I've done 2 reviews and also doing gardening at the weekend, it's killing off any live chats. But I want to try and do a live chat this Saturday. I want to get the garden. I've got 2 gardens to do on this weekend, but I want to get one done on Friday, one done on Saturday, and then, yeah, fuck the prune juice wine. You got bollocked off, Simon. Yeah. I'd love to meet him, because obviously he's been reviewing beers for all these years. I'd like to meet all the beer reviewers, because it's interesting, isn't it? You know, to see if we all think the same and taste the same, you know, and how you are. I really ought to watch other beer reviewers and see how they do. Maybe one day. But by the time I've done this and done that, I forget. And then by the time I go to bed, I mean, it's humbling to me to have beer reviewers watching me, because obviously, you know, you have people watch you. Oh, I don't know about the best. No, I don't know about that. Just a bloke from Nottingham who talks, well, who doesn't really care what he says. I have to be careful as well, because there's been some reviews in the past when I wasn't very well, mental health, and I came home and I worked with the biggest wanker going. And obviously, you know, in any job, you've got to be careful what you say. I mean, he was the biggest wanker, but that's that's just me telling the truth. And obviously, when you've had a beer, it slips out, doesn't it? You know, you have to be careful. Although, if you don't work for anyone and you're doing beer reviews, you don't give a shit what you say, do you? You know. And it's interesting, yeah. Yeah, I never swear. God, Jesus. And in fact, one day I used to never swear at all. And then I started swearing. I can't get it out of my system now. But then again, the real me is the sort of person who's brutally honest about his opinions. I mean, I think the media this year are just a bunch of wankers who've stirred the shit up. Every little thing, they've stirred it up just to get the reaction. And I think the media, both in America, where certain things happened, and over in the UK, where certain things happened, have stirred the shit up so much and continually stirring that shit. Instead of letting it die and go on to the next new fad, they're continually stirring it. And what they've done, they're breeding Trump's his own enemy, but you know, a lot of the racism that's occurring is being bred by the media themselves. They're doing it. The BLM, yeah. I come from a poor background. I come from the poorest area of Nottingham. Brought up with Asians, blacks. We all were good friends together, and I see them now, still good friends. And there's no racism whatsoever. Yet the fucking media, you know, they're stirring the shit so much. And yeah, oh dear. Problem is, and on Nottingham City Council, when I worked there were jobs come out for one particular type of person. And sometimes jobs just for gay people, just for a person of colour. And you think, you are creating racism. I mean, let's be fair. What happened in there is racism everywhere, you know. But then it is also people, because they come from a poor background, they will never get that job. I mean, on the city council, I had that where they won't look at me because I didn't tick their boxes. And, you know, it still happens. But it's not just one. I mean, you look around the world and all the wars in the world, the people, young children dying on streets. That, you know, pisses me off. And there's more shit in the world than just you know, one particular thing. But anyway, better go. 40 minutes, Jesus Christ! I'm gonna get the rollicking in my life. And been a great review. And see you soon. Cheers.